Hey guys, wanted to put a video out for you guys because I had in some time and just wanted to basically talk to you about what I've been reading out here in the town. First of all, YouTube's been making it fucking hard as fuck for me to upload videos, and I noticed that, so I have to like change the title sometimes before it will even upload because they be watching. Anyway, I'm reading this book called Intellectual Warfare by Jacob H. Carruthers. I think I'm saying that right. Carruthers. Okay, Jacob H. That. Okay, rewind that if you need to hear it again. It's good as fuck. It's called Intellectual Warfare, but I mean, it all basically is one and the same when you think of spiritual, physical, mind and body, spirit type thing, right? As far as warfare going on right now. And I'm seeing it takes place in a lot of different facets, you know. I mean, I see on spiritual channels, there being a quote unquote race war there. I see on a physical plane, people marching or Black Lives Matters, people getting shot. I see in this, in a more of a mental, intellectual plane, Black scholars are coming together, you know, talking about, you know, basically sacred, ancient knowledge that we should be thinking about anyway, okay? And it's really beautiful to see. Beautiful to see to me, and that it is the start of something big, and I'm glad that all of our soul contracts are here at this time, like, doing that. I mean, that's kind of a cool thing when you really think about it. Yeah, so in the book, because I've been really thinking about how just certain words, you know, like the English language is one of the best languages for magic and spell work, is what I've heard a lot of people say, and I agree, because I mean, it was literally meant in a whole to cast a spell on people, especially people of color, right? To get them to forget about themselves and their roots, and to form a whole new mindset for themselves, and that they were used to, you know, than what they were native to. So that's fascinating. And then also, but thinking about how certain, you know, like African texts have, you know, obviously different words that they use that sum up concepts so much better in like one word, whereas it takes the English language like 10-20, right, to make one point. Because I mean, soul was not embedded in English. It's just not, you know. And so that's interesting to think about that. What else? Oh, I love the book because it has, like, the first chapter is called The Nature of the War, right? Part 1, actually. And then it goes into intellectual warfare, the battle for Kemet, right? Kemet, ancient Egypt. And how they had tried to like separate Egypt from Africa, right? So for the longest time. And then they were talking about weapons that we normalized here. I mean, we didn't do it, but that they normalized, which is like archaeology, which is really just desecration of graves, but okay. Egyptology, linguistics, history, anthropology, and then them calling Egyptian deities, you know, myths. I don't think that's a fair portrayal of what they saw it of at that time and what we are beginning to see it of now, right? So yeah, it's great, and it's just, you know, it just shows me that I have so much to not only learn but to really unlearn, right? Because our basis for understanding ourselves is how we think of the mind, right? And there's just a lot of teachers that we're forced to learn, like, because I was in psychology classes, because I was almost finished with an AA in psychology. School's never been a hard thing for me. I've always liked learning, right? Now I realize that's complete trash, right? Because I mean, they had me learning about trash, you know, and by trash I mean just thought that doesn't include African thought, so therefore that's trash to me, because how do you not include something that should have been a foundation, right? That's just how I think of the ancestors and those that came before. And that's, but then again, it's like I'm in the US, so there's that. Yeah, it's still good to know, you know, because I have the DSM-5 here, so I know how they're diagnosing people. I have, and right, I've just like took the classes, so I know a bit about it, and it's good to see how they're thinking of things, and then and their influences or things that they've been taken from, you know, like Africa, really, and then just things that they've made as a foundation for understanding themselves, the psychology of, but and then us using that to understand our psychology, and I'm like unlearning those things is basically the principle of that. So I mean, I'll go more into what I read in the book. I mean, I'm only on chapter 2, but I did start today and planning on getting at least like, I don't know, quarter way through it, you know. And then what is this? Yurugo? This one is an African-centered critique of European cultural thought and behavior. I feel like that's going to be really interesting, and I mean, hopefully I can finish the other one up and get it to this soon. And I like the font. For me, font's a big thing. I don't really like too small font. So getting into that, what else? Okay, because this is how we fight the war too, is by transmuting ourselves, and this also helps transmute our spirituality, because it all, you know. Okay. Fuck this heavy ass. Okay. So this is Africana, an encyclopedia of African and African American experience. Okay, so I marked a page on, what is it? What did I do? What did I mark? On the page on Egypt, you know, and what is it? What were they talking about? They were talking about black pharaohs, Kush, how the Egyptians were a model for the Greeks. People failed to realize that, especially with the deities and everything. Oh, and in this book, the intellectual warfare book, he mentioned, what is it, Jacob H. Caranthers, right? Mentioned an ally, right? Who wrote something. I'm pretty sure he's talking about an ally, right? Let's see. Yeah, he might have been an ally. I don't know at this point, but anyway, is text titled "Black Athena, Read Black Greeks." Okay, and then a paper titled "Black Zeus." What is he trying to say about this right now? I have to read the section because I'm fucking confused. So, while many Kemetic scholars are well aware of the soft line approach of giving us a few tokens, such as a white approved black hero, oh, just got Snapchat, or two, and even a trio of pharaohs, some of us are not aware of the even more awesome threat posed by Martin Bernal, a European. Okay, so not an ally, just more like the dangers that could be. Okay, that he would rather fight on our side. As proof of his fidelity to our cause, he offers us a gift entitled Black Athena, Read Black Greeks, and praises our visionary George G.M. James for converting him to the path of truth. It's interesting. Read Bernal's book, and you will discover while he praises Brother James, he danced most of the reading, most of the rest of us. Okay, that's not good. He applies we are anti-Semitic. Oh, shut up. Okay, right. It's not really an ally, but I think it's still worth the read because I'm curious about that. You know, I mean, because all their Greek deities, right, first of all, weren't white and stolen stories for Egyptian deities most of the time. So there's that. Fascinating. Okay, my face has been clearing up, especially when I do those fucking reversal spells. Because people fucking spell work on you. Negative vibes will cause you to break out too. So keep that in mind. Reversals, shielding is really important right now. Yeah. Because it's hot out here on the spiritual streets. Anyway. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna share more about what I learned and share it with others. And I'm gonna read what they were talking about though, and then share that with you. I was watching YouTube on that while recording. Anyway, yeah, fascinating. I'll make another video after, but this is good enough for this one.